I've done it. I've made it to 4,000 viewed hours. I'm going to become monetized. So I'm going to drive out to Vegas probably tomorrow, and I'm going to spar Sean Strickland. I'm going to film it and put it on here for you guys to see. But to tide you over, here are 3 rounds of my sparring yesterday. Nick Myers is the first one, Jared Vanderaa, UFC heavyweight, is the next one, and Dominic Reyes, UFC light heavyweight champion, because I think he beat John Jones. All right, fellas. So this was wonderful. I posted this video, and then it got taken down because there's lightly AC/DC playing in the background. And when I took the volume off, which YouTube lets me do, it was just me silently sparring someone. It was like an awkward silence. So instead, I'll talk to you a little bit. Nick was great. He hit me up when he heard I was coming back out. And he said, hey, I've been a karate black belt for years. He is now a jiu-jitsu brown belt. The dude's good, like better than I remember. I haven't seen him in close to 2 years. And so he said, hey, Sam, I'd love to come out and spar with you. You gonna be honest? Yeah, come on out. So we drilled together all at the warm-up, and then we get our round in. He's a little taller than me, and he's got those crazy, he's got those crazy karate kicks where he can delay them. And I love those so much. I wish I had the ability to do it. I don't, so it is what it is. But he does, where you lift it up and then you decide where you want it to go. It was a lot of fun to spar with him. He's got that length too. My boxing coach always told me, he said, being tall, having a better reach is good if you know how to use it. Nick is one of those guys who I didn't know knew how to use it, but he does. He kept throwing it out there, coming in hard with that cross, and then as he's pulling back, throwing that kick up. And it was a lot of fun getting to figure him out a little bit. At this point in my career, everybody kind of knows what I'm good at. He said, I'm big and strong. I got a decent jab, good hook, and a hell of a left. So if you can stay away from that. So me developing mid-round with somebody who has the ability to kick, punch, move in and out, and cover up is pretty unique. So he punished me a little bit, but we had a good round. It was a lot of fun. I'm probably 25 pounds heavier than him here. He's likely still heavier than Ross Levine's going to be. And size doesn't mean anything. If you get kicked in the face by someone smaller than you or bigger than you, it hurts pretty bad. Although, I have a record. I have been kicked in the head 4 times in my MMA and kickboxing career. 4 times I've been kicked in the head. I've won each of the fights, and I broke their foot or shin on my head all 4 times. So keep in mind, Ross Levine, you kick me in the face, you're probably going to, statistically, you're guaranteed to break your foot or shin. So anyways, Nick here. I was talking to him after class, and he said, hey, could you introduce me to Karate Combat as well? I said, I would love to. He said, what exactly is your background? And so he ran me through everything, said, wow. All right, tell me all of that in text, and I will send it to Karate Combat, and we'll get you in the Kumite. Karate Combat does this thing, a Kumite, where they take amateurs, put them in a tournament, and then the winner of the tournament gets a professional career with Karate Combat. And Nick would be amazing at that. If he really wanted to, he could fight 165, but probably he'll be 185, because who wants to cut all that weight? Cutting weight sucks, guys. I mean, I've got about 25 pounds to go before my fight, and I'm right on schedule, but I am prepared for that. God, I hate cutting weight. Cutting weight is just the worst, but I'm prepared for it. I've done it so many times, and me being a bigger guy now than I used to be, the weight came off more easily last time than it did this time. So I was really happy to figure that out. So now we're going, and you got to remember, in these sparring rounds, I had conditioned just before this. So I did 5 3-minute rounds of a hard Tabata kind of round. And then I sparred with Chuck, which is my video from yesterday, for 3 rounds. And then one other guy, which I didn't post. So I had already burned, if you go by calories, at this point, I had already burned about 1,500 calories. I was burning through that wall. This round goes amazing. My next round, I was going against a boy who's about 20 pounds heavier than me in a black belt. He was taking me down, and I was getting back up. But halfway through that round, which I didn't film, but halfway through that round, I hit a wall. Like, oh God, I don't want to do this anymore. I pushed through that wall. You know, they call it a runner's high. This is a puncher's high. And that's Nick Myers doing some cool stuff. I got through that puncher's high, and I felt great the rest of the day. First 2 rounds a little slow. By round 3, I was set sparring Jared, and I felt great. But if anything looks a little slow today, it's because I had done a lot prior to sparring, which is how I'd always run caps. I always pushed myself in the morning, came in real hard during class, and then relaxed a little in the afternoon. Good job, Nick. Thank you very much. So that was Nick Myers. He is a black belt in 2 different traditional martial arts, as well as a fighter. He will be in Karate Combat, and I suspect he'll be the champion by the end of 2024. This next one is UFC heavyweight Jared Vanderaa. So this is take 3. I posted this video, and then YouTube took it down. They said, oh, you're playing AC/DC lightly in the background. So I took that out, voiced over everything, reposted it, and they took it down again because, I don't know, there's Twisted Sister or something playing in the background of this take. It didn't get flagged the first time, so I did. Anyways, this is Jared Vanderaa. He's a good friend of mine. We have been training partners for years. And he's been a heavyweight, and I have not been. I've been a middleweight. And so for most of our career, he's been significantly bigger than me. Well, in the past year, he is cutting back down to 205, and I went up to 205. So he is still a little bigger than me. He moves like a little guy. Like that bounce in his step, he throws that kick out of nowhere. He moves like a little guy. But he slipped that hook so good. I punched that wall so hard. My boxing coach teased me. I'll tease me. But he and I have been training partners for so long, and I haven't gotten to spar him in a year and a half at least. So this is the first time I got to see him. He's cut down. He's probably 10 pounds heavier than me, so it's close enough, a little taller than me. And what a fun round. I have always enjoyed being able to spar him, but not being scared of him just being bigger than me. Scared's the wrong word, but not just being nervous of him being bigger than me made this so much more fun. I got to play. Oh, that was some head movement out of me. So Jared, he's actually struggling to find a fight right now. He found one fight. His first fight at 205 is a bad weight cut. He ended up losing it, but it was the weight cut more than anything. It was his first time down. He's looking to bounce back, and he can't get anyone to agree to fight him. He wants to fight 205, but is willing to fight heavyweight, and if they pay enough, he'll fight middleweight. So if anyone out there knows of any organization looking for a UFC level, caliber fighter, Jared Vanderaa is your man. He hits hard. His jiu-jitsu. He's been a black belt in jiu-jitsu for 3 or 5 years now. He might be getting close to his second degree. He's a big guy. He can get head kicks. It's crazy. I've always enjoyed going with him, and he's got a good social media personality to him as well. I follow him on TikTok, and he likes kicking his students. So he always has competitions of, all right, you kick me 3 times, I get to kick you once. We'll see who flinches first. And he's yet to lose. Ooh, that was a good overhand by me. Stick that jab. Something I've been working on in this camp, and not doing a particularly good job of it right now, is I want to stay in his face. I want to be able to push forwards, protect myself, not get hit as I'm hitting, which sounds like what every MMA fighter, boxer wants to do, but it's not what I've typically done. I've always been more of a counter striker. I've been trying to force it a little bit, and it's working all right. I'm making some contact. I got to continue working on the escape. Ooh, there's a good jab. That's a great jab. And he returns fire with those kicks. His kicks are dangerous. As much as I enjoy my boxing side of my karate style, the countering a kick from range, he does that grooving with his head, and he comes out of. Oh, I love that, and not when I'm sparring him, but I love it right now. He's just a. I've been working on my pacing. I've been working on my pressure, trying to get that power shot coming forwards, like so many karateka, which is the name of an athlete who fights in the karate style. Karateka has. They've got so much speed, so much power going forward, and I've been trying to adapt my mix of Kempo karate and MMA over the years back to the speediness and attacking power of the traditional karate. What do you guys think? Tell me in the comments. What would be the best way for me to go ahead and fight Ross Levine, who is faster than me? I've admitted he's faster. He's going to be significantly smaller, but he will be faster. And I'm aware that he wants to kick me in the face real hard. God, I hope he doesn't kick me in the face. I hate getting kicked in the face. You find me a guy who likes getting kicked in the face, and I'll show you a liar. I think that was George Washington that said that. Also, this is the Dan Henderson's gym. It is a massive mat space. Most times a day, it's just full of people. You have jiu-jitsu on one side, Muay Thai on the other side, or conditioning in the background. Then we have a full-sized MMA. Oh, it's a fun little spin kick. A full-size octagon UFC. Ooh, good jab, both jab by me, cross by him. Full-size octagon in the background where we're constantly doing boxing privates, Muay Thai privates, private lessons. And thank you, Jared. So that's Jared Vanderaa. He's been a training partner of mine for the last forever. And he's come down a little bit. He and I are about the same size. I was so excited when I saw him. It was a great round. I enjoy going with him. The next one, Dominic Reyes. That was me sparring Jared Vanderaa. I haven't sparred with him about 2 years, but we keep in contact. We've always been training partners, and he's very good. He was UFC heavyweight for 7 or 8 fights. He had a long time in there. He did really well. He lost a bunch of weight. Recently, he went down to 205 for his last fight, and he's hoping to stay down that way. But the dude's like 6'5" and just a naturally large individual. Now here, I'm fighting Dominic Reyes, who I believe beat John Jones in that title fight. I believe he got in there. I believe he outstruck him, outdid everything to him. Looked a little tired in round 4 and 5, but I still thought he round 1 for it, and then round 5 was a toss-up. 2 of the judges disagreed with me, and I guess that's what's important. But I've gotten to work with him over the last 4 years off and on, and he's such a good dude. Like, he's so enjoyable to be around. He was talking to me after class, and he started saying, Sam, when I saw that first knockout in Karate Combat, it was just incredible. I jumped up, I was screaming, everyone was so happy. And that made me feel great. I loved hearing that from one of the best training partners I've gotten to work with. And he has this movement about him. He has this huge cross. And this cross comes out of nowhere. I have such a hard time reading it. This round particularly, as we're sparring, I'm trying to walk him down. I'm trying to get him cornered a little bit. And he just, it's that cross I was telling you about. Right over the top. I missed it completely. I kind of laughed it off in the round. He pulled it because he's a nice guy. But he has such a way of moving. He's so hard to tie down. And if you look when he fought Uring, I believe that was his last fight. He was doing so well. He got caught up and he ran out of space to move, and that's where he got caught by that freak elbow. But when we're sparring together, he has this way of he'll switch stances, and he switches really well. He's helping me out with Ross, and Ross likes to switch stances. He's in here, and he'll switch left to right, and he'll come over with that big right. Oh, I got him. I forgot that happened. I was a little calf kick, just caught him at the right place. Oh, and I felt good about that one. And he makes it up to me here in a second. I come in tight with a big jab here, and he uppercuts me with his rear hand under my elbow. It is the coolest thing. And yeah, I'm trying to get my karate stance on here a little bit, just getting ready to explode forward because I'm having a hard time pinning him down. If I can get him too comfortable with me, get him to the point where he doesn't know what I'm doing, maybe I'll be able to explode into something. Oh, a little double kick, go low then high with it. Now he's going to come over with this big rear kick. And this rear kick, it's another one of those delayed kicks. You don't quite know where it's coming. And he and I were having we'll call it a light sparring round. We're having a good time with it. And I think I'm about to, I think it's about to trip into one of the cameramen. Oh, my boxing coach was pissed. Gustavo's my boxing coach. And Sean Strickland just texted me just now. I've been bugging him for weeks. He just got in touch with me. So I'll let you know what he says. Oh, and there's my boxing coach freaks out. So get off the mat. What are you doing? The camera guys were there for me. Both of them. So Dom and I, we keep having a good match. And we're really just working on the positional stuff. We're not going that hard. We're just trying to touch each other as best we can. And Dom is making it so difficult for me to touch him. He's just controlling that range so well and keeping me at bay with that. There's that uppercut. Oh, that damned uppercut under my, in the match. You saw the little glove touch there? In the match, I said, dude, that was slick. He's going to show a little thing I love to do. Feint the cross coming with that uppercut. Yeah. Now he credits me for that. I wish you could hear it, but stupid YouTube took down, wouldn't let me post this. But it was so good getting to see Dom again, getting to move with him a little bit. And now that I'm actually, I think I'm heavier than him here. I'm not as tall, but I think I'm heavier than him here. I'm sitting between 225, 230. He said, that was a big overhand with a rear kick coming up behind. That was slick. He's just a slick striker. Like, I enjoy striking, so it's great, but he's got this power to him, but he's so controlled with it. He can set up when it's going to hit and all that. Shake out the arms, just try and get in his head a little bit. Boom. I always think of, was it the Mission Impossible 5 when Superman's in there, in the bathroom fight scene, he shakes his shoulders out and comes forward. I always think of that. Henry Cavill. I wish I was as shredded as Henry Cavill. Maybe someday. But the round ends here pretty quick, and then I'll give you a quick rundown of what's going on, and I'll let you know what Sean Strickland just texted me.